Welcome back. Let's go back to our top story. One person has died following a quadruple shooting in Brampton. Peel Regional Police giving us an update. Let's listen in.
Officer, can you tell us what happened here this morning?
Good morning, and thank you everyone for coming. Earlier this morning, just after 6 a.m., we received a call for shots fired at a parked vehicle that was parked in a commercial area on Rutherford Road South near Selby Road in the city of Brampton. Now, unfortunately, or let me rephrase that. So what we know so far, we are in the very, very preliminary stages of this investigation. Our officers did locate several individuals that had suffered some injuries, and unfortunately one of those people was pronounced deceased on scene. Now, our homicide unit is investigating this incident, and I can share with you very limited details. What we know so far is there were 6 occupants of a vehicle, and this vehicle was parked in the plaza behind me here on Rutherford Road in Brampton. Now, at some point, another vehicle attended and began shooting at this parked vehicle. The resulting gunfire and shrapnel associated with the shooting caused several injuries and the fatal that took place here. I can share with you that the person who's deceased is an adult female. We had another adult female who was transported to a trauma center with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Another female was transported to a local hospital with minor injuries, and the adult male driver was also transported to a hospital with minor injuries. As I mentioned, our Homicide Bureau is investigating right now. You can see that our Forensics Identification Services is here. We'll be bringing in our aerial support unit. We have a number of uniformed officers here that are holding the scene. We are going to be canvassing and looking for anyone that might have been in the area who can help us in this investigation. And I would encourage anyone, if they have any information, to please contact our homicide officers.
Do we know, officer, if any of these people were living here? Because we understand that people are living in this commercial building in the offices upstairs.
Right now, everything is so early in the investigation, I can't speculate as to what those individuals were doing.
So, but with respect to the shots fired, the shots were fired at the vehicle where these people, was a return fire given?
The information that we have right now is there were shots fired at that one vehicle.
Any idea how many shots?
There were multiple shots fired.
What can you tell us about the 2 vehicles involved?
What we know for sure is there was a vehicle that was shot at, and there is a suspect vehicle that did the shooting, but we do not have any details to share at this time.
What about the 2 other people that were in the vehicle that was shot at?
So there were 2 adult women that were uninjured.
Is it believed that one of the males in the hospital is a shooter, or can you comment on that?
The one male that has been transported to hospital with minor injuries is the driver of the vehicle.
The driver of the vehicle was fired upon?
Yes.
Did you say there were 6 people in the vehicle?
Yes. So there's 1 adult male driver, who's the one we have just spoken about, plus 5 adult women.
Was this a targeted shooting?
The information at this point suggests that it is an isolated incident. But again, I can't stress enough that this is in the very early stages, which is why there are so many officers here who are going to be conducting the necessary interviews and the necessary search for evidence and video and dash cam footage.
Any idea why these people would be here at 6 in the morning in this industrial area?
Again, that's going to be part of their investigation to determine what that is.
The vehicle where the shots came from, any idea how many people were in that car?
No, we don't have that information.
And it was happened at 6 a.m. This seems like it's probably a quiet area around that time in the morning.
This is a commercial area, so typically the traffic is quite light, but all the more reason, if there was a vehicle that was driving by that has dash cam footage, that would be something we would be very interested in. So please reach out to our homicide investigators.
We understand there was a shooting in this exact location within the last 3 years. Can you comment on whether that's supported?
So right now we're looking at this investigation in isolation, but as part of the investigation continues, we're going to be looking at any previous shootings in the area or even not in the area to see if there's any similarities or things of that nature to link them up. But right now, because it's so early in the investigation, we can't speak to whether it's related to a previous shooting or not.
And is there anything you tell us about the relationship between the 6 people who were in the vehicle that was shot at?
No, I can't speak to any of that.
Do we have any age ranges?
I can only share that they're all adults, or we believe them to be all adults at this time. I would remind everybody that we did have someone here that has lost their life, and that has a huge ripple effect for the family and things like that. And I think it's important for us to remember that there's a person there, which is why we are going to do everything we can to determine what happened. And we, of course, are going to reach out to the public. So please help us if you know anything. We want to bring closure to the family. And in part, that's why we're not saying anything about that, out of respect for the family.
Has the coroner been here?
The coroner has been.
Is the body in the vehicle?
That information I don't have.
And can you give us any idea of how many shots were fired?
As I said, there were multiple shots fired, but an exact number, I do not have that.
Gauge of the weapon, approximately, we're talking about handgun, rifle.
Again, I can't speak to that. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Peel Regional Police delivering a good amount of new information in this quadruple shooting in Brampton that left one woman killed. They said this happened around 6 o'clock in the morning. They said a parked vehicle with a male driver and 5 women inside was parked in a plaza when another vehicle showed up in that plaza, opened fire. One woman, an adult female, was found dead at the scene. Several others were taken to hospital with minor injuries for preventative reasons, as some people escaped without any injury at all. We have no suspect vehicle descriptions at this point, but as you can see, there's a lot of police in the area, in this commercial/industrial area. So they'll be canvassing and asking people if they have any more information.